Well, I'm certainly glad to be with you. About a week ago, while I was swimming around out in the Gulf Stream, I never thought I was going to be anywheres. But I got by. As luck was, I learned how to swim when I was a kid, and I've been keeping it up pretty steadily ever since. Always been kind of a nut about swimming. And it came in handy this time. Of course, if I hadn't been able to, I think I would have been food for sharks. I guess sharks don't like sailors anyway. They're a little too tough. Well, I'm very glad to be with you. For a while, about a week ago, when I was swimming around out in the Gulf Stream, I certainly thought I wasn't going to be anywhere. But luckily, I learned how to swim when I was a kid, and have been keeping it up ever since. Been always a kind of a nut about swimming. If it hadn't been for that, I think I might have been food for sharks. And well, I'm certainly glad to be with you. About a week ago, while I was swimming around out in the Gulf Stream, for a while I thought I wasn't going to be anywheres. But luckily, I learned how to swim when I was a kid, and I've been keeping it up pretty well ever since. And I think that was what saved me. Otherwise, I think I might have been food for sharks. Of course, sharks don't like sailors much anyway. They're too tough. That is the worst sight I've ever seen. Not being able to do anything for them. Of course, the crew of that boat I was picked up in, which was number 14, they seemed certainly willing and tried hard to pick up everybody they could. But seeing people in the water after darkness, that's an impossible thing. It's hard to find them when it's full daylight in such a sea as we had. And I'm certainly grateful to that lifeboat crew for saving my life. I had despaired a couple of times when other lifeboats passed us up. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you. Good night.
You out there who have never been on a sinking ship cannot realize the horror of being cast adrift in the ocean and the terror of it. We left the Vestris in a leaky lifeboat. There were 60 of us. A boat passed nearby, and I attempted to board it, and one of the crew pushed me back, saying, "We don't want any more women in here." An hour later, our boat capsized. We were hanging frantically to it all through the day and through the darkness of night, pierced with thunder and lightning and rain. One by one, our companions left us. My husband, who became delirious and was exhausted from bailing incessantly, became weaker and weaker, and I clung to him, trying to hold him up. At dawn, there were just 10 left of our great number. We sighted 2 vessels, but they didn't see us. We tried to signal them with some rags on the end of an oar, but they didn't see us. Each time a wave struck us, my husband's grip was loosened, and I became weaker and weaker and thought I couldn't hold on to him any longer. Finally, a wave dashed against us and took him away from me, and I didn't see him anymore. Then I sent an SOS to God and said, "If you're going to send aid, God, send it quickly." And then the Wyoming came in sight, and I was rescued. At this time, I wish to thank my many friends for all their various wires in this time of trouble. You out there who have never been on a sinking ship do not realize the horror of being cast adrift on the ocean and the terror of living through it. We tried to leave the... All through the day and through the darkness of the night, pierced by thunder and lightning and heavy rain, we clung frantically to the boat, which had capsized about an hour after we left the Vestris. Searchlights reached us during the night, but they could not find us. At dawn, there were just 10 left of our great number. At this time, I wish to thank all my many thousands of friends who have wired me in this time of trouble.